only able to be here because your brother's letting you stay up late at night. Well, since you're here, let's talk about what I'm. I have some scripts written, and what I would like to happen is for me to be able to make some videos out of these. Why? Because let me send him my email address. What I'd like to do is have something to show for a talking, right? What I'm currently believing, what I'm receiving, that my gaming clips and videos, they're not doing well. You know what I mean? They're not doing too well. So it's like we gotta make some shake. We gotta try something. So I have a couple of scripts that I would like to pass off. Real, you feel me? Like I was actively in the middle of a stream. We asked a question and then I answered. Supposed to go. Let me pull up these scripts. Right, and then I have my phone. I got scripts on there. Boom, boom. Should be right. This script. Oh, this is art. Okay. So all I gotta do, send these to myself. Got this here. Don't hate the player, hate the game. We're gonna try that. I need my headphones on. Fake like I got headphones on, right? Boom. Boom. I also might start editing. Well, like video editing. You got any videos you want done? You got any whatevers, any people you know who need editors, bro? Slide them my direction. Slide my direction towards them. English, Spanish, any other language that isn't those two doesn't matter. All right, so this script, mind you, let me know how it sounds, right? I'm gonna act it out, right? Script is don't hate the player, hate the game. Makes sense. Most of the time, you talking about CS:GO or some stupid shit like that, right? But if the game is evil, then why can't I hate the one playing it? If the game was built specifically to hurt people, specifically so that one group of players could dominate, like in any MMO with a PvP area, that's what real life is. Ganking low levels to keep farming your stats and shit up, right? So if you're playing a game built to hurt people and you keep playing anyway despite knowing how it was made and the intentions behind it, you're helping it. You're just as culpable. It is not about survival. You are thriving in an evil environment. See, people talk about, in Western societies at least, living for a purpose. And that pisses me off because it implies that you need a mission to justify your existence. Like you're less than because you aren't getting after the bag or chasing that paper, which in my shit would be you playing the game that's evil. So my point to bring here is that existing to just exist is the purpose. Playing this game that's fabricated by people who couldn't fathom the idea of not having power over others is the reason the majority of life is happy. Like, we weren't made to chase or serve a system, right? Like it was the prize. Being alive is the prize. So yeah, I'll hate the player and the game because the point was never to win, it was to live. That's the super shitty version of that script, right? That's just me reading it. Now let's see if I can make it shake. All right, go. Oh, I can't stand it, bro. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't. I actually have some things to say about this. Okay, time out. Don't hate the player, hate the game is fucking bullshit. Every aspect of that is wrong. Okay, let me explain how. If the game you're playing is evil and you know that it's evil, it's still your fault. You are deciding to partake in the game knowing it's wrong. That's not on the game. That's on you. Just because other people are also doing that shit doesn't make it okay for you to jump onto the bandwagon. Like, if the game is built for the purpose of hurting people or for isolating resources to remove possibilities and keep them within the sphere of the influential, and you continue to play the game, you are helping them. You're not surviving. You're thriving in an environment that was made to fuck me over at the fuck. See, I fucked it. We're gonna try that again. We're gonna lock back in, remember? Actually, it might help if I have a control in my hand, right? Because we're acting, right? So I can't fucking stand it, bro. Like, how do you just cheat? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Word, chat. Hold on. I have things to say about this fucking quote. Don't hate the player, hate the game is complete fucking bullshit. Okay. Well, let me read this. Yo, you think you can stream at like 8 or 9 p.m. tomorrow? I want to play Legends Arceus. Also, when I told you you can stream whenever, I didn't mean stream at midnight for me. 8 or 9 p.m. tomorrow for me, I should be able to do 8 p.m. Sure. And this is mainly just so I could get these recordings out, honestly. Honest to God, it's so I can get these recordings. This is not part of the schedule per se. You feel me? So this is yeah, just basing it. Try this again. 8 minutes, 20 seconds. Maybe I don't know if it's better to just do it like I planned the video, or if let me do it like I planned the video. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? That's what they say. It's what they spew consistently. My point is that if the game is made to hurt people, if it was made by evil and you know this and you still play, you're just as bad. Maybe more so. Why can I not hate the player and the game at the same time? These two aren't mutually exclusive. If it's fuck you and it's fuck the game, it could be fuck both of you, okay? People talk about Western cultures where life itself isn't enough, right? You should be alive for a purpose. There should be a reason for you living. Again, same realm of bullshit. You don't need a mission to justify existence. Being alive is the purpose. If you are aware of that and you can differentiate life from the human perception of accomplishment, then you know there's a difference. You know they're not linked in any way, shape, or form, except for the fact that we're making it be so. So you're disregarding life for this shit that they sold you, and now you're part of the game, dog. I hate you for that. We don't live in nature, you feel me? We are nature. We're part of nature. Nature doesn't have to prove to itself that it's fucking natural. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't need to consistently remind itself, hey, that leaf is there for a fucking reason. Stop swearing. We weren't made to serve some system, right? Or to just chase meaning like it's a prize, okay? You're drawing breath. You're thinking thoughts. You're judging me. You're watching something. You're making conclusions. Synapses are firing. Your hands are on you, hopefully. You can move your body, hopefully. Every part of what I just described is what makes life life. There is no more. There's like you're jumping to conclusions here because everyone else looks like they're doing something. They're playing the game. I'm going to sit here and hate the player just as much as I hate the game. Because if it were possible, if it were not illegal to not play the game, I wouldn't be. If I could survive without playing the game, wouldn't be. If I had the resources, if we had the culture and the identity as a people, we wouldn't be doing this. I'm native, bro. Like, none of this is natural. Capitalism sucks. Fuck y'all. 824 to 1214. That's where the video should be cut. 824 to 1220. All right, now when I go back, I can. Perfect. I don't know if that was great. Let me see that again. Also, you have any ideas for these videos? I would love them because I don't have ideas that often. And I love to try to translate any thoughts into a articulatable argument. You feel me? Not gonna lie, in my opinion, no matter what game it is, it's the player, not the game. The game's made nice and people just make it bad on purpose. Okay, so the script that I'm reading is referring to life as the game, right? Capitalism. In this aspect, in just regular video games, in terms of like, yo, hate the player, not the game, that makes total sense to me. There's nothing wrong with the game. The game was made to be challenging. It was made for this, that, and the third. Skills to be able to compete against each other and for people to be able to have fun. So I never hate regular fucking gaming. The problem is that real life has been gamified for the sole purpose of profit. Also, if you would say that mid-game, why'd you talk about IRL crap? Because even if you aren't, it sounds like you are. No, I'm not doing it like I'm still streaming. I'm actually just filming the video. I was faking it, or I was acting like we were mid-stream for real, but I didn't like it. So I think I have to address what you said also. Let me see if I can redo this. Let me see if I can redo this so it's adequate. That is a point of pain here. They say don't hate the player, hate the game. I say hate both. Fuck them. Okay, let me explain before we jump on my face for this. No, I'm not talking about video games. Okay, video games are made to be hard. They're made to be fun. Made for you to put your skill to the test. Maybe relax, maybe whatever. Some players will take that environment, make it horrible for everyone else. Hate those players, right? The game allows such a thing, not because it was supposed to be done, but because you can't think through and prevent every negative behavior. However, in real life, where this applies for real, you can hate both. Because the game, in and of itself, is evil. It was made to be evil. It was made by evil, for evil. If you are unaware of that fact, baby, if you are aware of that fact, you are just as bad as the first place. Like, the game was made. Skip that line. People talk, right? Like, Western culture specifically have this idea of living for a purpose, which implies that you need a mission or a reason to justify your existence. I can't begin to explain how much that pisses me off. You don't occupy the space where nature is, right? You don't live on Earth as a human being within nature. You are a part of nature, an inherent part of nature. What does that mean? It means you don't need to justify a fucking thing, brother. Nothing that you do needs to be explained in the realm of human accomplishment. Why are we stacking stats up against each other like this shit matters? Who is providing more profit for a corporate shareholder versus... I've seen people judge the homeless because they're broke. Not even no other reason. That's not a crazy person. That's not a mentally ill person. That's just a dude who couldn't hit the payment on time and now he's homeless, and you know that about him. But somehow he's less than you. Word? We weren't made for this. Okay? This is what it is. This is how you were raised. This is what you're used to. So you don't question it. I asked my mans the other day, if you could create a society without money, period, would you? Not even how would you? Not let's figure out and go through the process of why that's not possible. If it were possible, would you remove money? He said no. What? He said no, okay? We're not made to serve a system or chase meaning like it's a prize. Being alive is the prize. You get to experience ups, downs, negatives, positives, STDs maybe. Not me. I'm just whatever, bro. You can go through it. That's what the point is for. Trees ain't fucking, ooh, I gotta make sure my roots are longer than his. Otherwise, Mother Nature's not gonna give me a promotion. Kill yourself. You're playing the game. I hate you for it. I hate the game too. I could hate both of you. The game sucks. You play it, you suck. And if you think that's not the case, suck my dick, for real. Honestly. Eat my shorts, as they say in the PG-13 community. The point's never been to, okay? Just to live. Just live. That's where I gotta cut this bitch. Boom. What is that? 19 minutes and 20 seconds is where the end of that is. I honestly think that was probably the best version of that. How do you feel? I'm trying to make it seem like I'm really passionate about this topic. I don't give a fuck. But you know, we're acting. So how do you... Did you think at least if I were to cut that up YouTuberly, it would make any sense? If a society without money existed, it would be in shambles since without money, everything would be free and no one would want to work jobs such as doctors, construction workers, so on. Now, that's where I disagree. I just don't think. Still pretty good, though? Thank you so much. Now, just talking to you, I don't really know if that's the case. Like, the video's done. Native American societies didn't have the concept of money as we have, right? Like paper money. There isn't. I'm not talking about currency, okay? Because if I have a piece of gold and you have a fish and we know that there's value in both of these, we can trade, barter. All of that makes sense to me. But as soon as you start going, how about you give me that fish and then I'll owe you the idea of this gold, and you introduce debt or you introduce money that isn't tied to the physical, right? Money that you can just do, you could just make magic work with money right now because it's all digital. Without that concept of money, I promise you we could get through it. Like, obviously, Native Americans back in the day didn't have fucking giant hospitals for doctors to have to learn all these things for. But in a society that has a social agreement with each other, that it is better and more sustainable to work together towards an end than it is to try and be selfish in terms of like increasing your own life and how good your life is going. I think that's totally doable. Like, it's not about what you want to do, right? It's like, if everyone agreed, then maybe you do 3 hours a day, maybe 10 hours, 20 hours a week at this thing. You may not even have to do the same job every day. Like, you could rotate every couple months. If you like what you're doing, you can keep doing that. Everyone has a government assigned job or something that's so much less than this. Because I promise, if you got every person in just the United States to work and they weren't doing useless shit like office jobs at for-profit companies like fucking Apple, you wouldn't have an infrastructure issue. You just wouldn't. There would be enough people at any time of the day swing by the fucking like we just did voting in New York. We need a couple hundred people for every sector of this area to help with the voting. We're gonna assign them, and Dems because it doesn't need a special amount of knowledge. Oh, we need people to be doctors. If you do that, there's an incentive to do that because it's harder, and everyone knows it's harder. And on top of that, only the subset of people who train for that can do those. There's gonna be specializations everywhere. The problem is, right? We're trying to make the idea of what something is worth equal its value in dollars. You know what I mean? Like, it's our tying of life to a digital currency that's really fucking shit up. We had just as much horrible shit going on everywhere throughout all of time, right? At least European, and as far as I can tell, Asian. But I don't know enough history about the Latin Americans and the Canadian Americans to know whether or not their lifestyle was good. But I do know it was way more peaceful and it was way more in tune with nature. Let's read this comment. Hold on. Also, hate the player, not the game. Earth is also a fact. IRL how? I'll tell you. If Earth was 1 meter closer to the sun, all water would evaporate and Earth would basically be Mars 2.0. And if Earth was 1 more meter away from the sun, everything would freeze. So we are at the absolute perfect spot. Let me add to that. Jupiter and the way that it's formed, how big it is, its gaseousness, provides a layer of protection. And I think Saturn as well with his rings. From any and all fucking incoming obstacles from space, it just, like, even if we were exactly where we were, without Jupiter and Saturn where they are, we'd still probably not be able to survive for too long. Like, I've seen a lot of those arguments, but our placement in the universe for the development of life is so incredibly accurate, incredibly stable that it doesn't make sense for it to have happened randomly. That's one of the greatest arguments I've heard for a divine creator, right? But also, if the universe is infinite, then this was bound to happen somewhere. Okay, let's see. We have one more attempt. This is script, and this is gonna be all about politics. How do you feel about Trump and him? I'm trying to make a divisive video about Trump to see if it'll get any kind of response on the webs. I want to make sure that we know I don't actually care that much about politics outside of, you know, be a good person. So I feel like that kind of makes me lean left, but we'll figure it out. You left leaning or right leaning? I got to assume you're Muslim, which would make me also assume that you're probably more conservative. So I wonder where you stand on that. I got to send an email to myself. There, there. And now I also got to fucking read that. He said, Dragon said, and the way water got to Earth. An ice comet flying past our solar system, and Jupiter had its gravitational to with ungodly luck, shot the asteroid right at Earth and gave us water. Really? I didn't actually know that. Of course I don't like Trump. He gives money to the people attacking the Muslims. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Free Palestine. Fuck Israel forever and always. Find out. This is gonna be here. We're gonna go to the Gmail. I did I not just send this to myself? What I gotta do? Send it. Oh, I didn't. Come on. I just send it to myself. Where the fuck else? Okay. So this is about the government shutdown in the United States, refusing to pay people SNAP benefits. Okay. SNAP benefits still off. This is the core of the death cult that's been circling around this entire conversation that we keep pretending doesn't exist, okay? The SNAP decision is the exact mechanism by which people participate in mass murder. Okay, here we go. Let me hide my bookmarks. Then, ooh, this one's a lot longer. The government shutdown and its effect. That's what I should say. The government shutdown and its effects on SNAP is the exact mechanism by which people participate in mass murder while telling themselves that they're actually the reasonable one. Okay? It's the core of the death cult that's been circling this entire conversation. Fuck. All right, bet. Deuces, Dragon, you be safe. Try to get this off. If I got a bad bitch, I don't mean dick in time. I just got that dude. You might be retarded. Like, you might be retarded. You might be retarded. SNAP benefits. Government shutdown. Nothing ever happens. You're just overreacting to Trump being elected. Both sides are the same anyways. I mean, you actually think that Project 2025 stuff is real? Yeah, I do. And it is. Okay. This is it. This is the core of the death cult that we've been circling around this entire conversation. Okay. And what I just did at the front of it, and what I just did at the front end of this video is the exact mechanism by which people participate in mass murder but continue to tell themselves that they're the reasonable ones. Let's be absolutely clear about what's happening, okay? People are saying let them starve and dressing it up like it's fiscal responsibility or personal accountability or tough love, okay? But what they're actually saying is, I'm willing to watch humans die of starvation rather than allow my tax dollars to feed them. It's not politics. It's not economics. You know what it is? Murder by policy preference. The fucking insanity of it. Like, commenters are acting like they're so far removed from that same eventuality, from that same edge. Like, your job security is guaranteed forever, okay? You could be homeless tomorrow. I might make sure you're homeless tomorrow. Let me relax. Sorry, let me dial it back in. Like, your job security is guaranteed forever. Like you couldn't get cancer tomorrow and lose everything to medical bills. I might make sure that you lose everything tomorrow. And I gotta stop doing that. from that same eventuality, from that same edge. Like you couldn't get cancer and lose everything to medical bills tomorrow, dog. Like, your company couldn't just decide to downsize or automate or offshore your position with no warning. Happened to. Like you couldn't have a mental health crisis or a family emergency or a fucking car accident that just puts you in the same exact position as the people you're calling lazy. You're a couple bad months away from needing those same programs that you're celebrating the destruction of, okay? But they won't see it, because seeing it would mean confronting how fragile your own position is, how little security you truly have in life. Oh my God, that would be better. This is where I should cut it. It'll start at 36:40. Oh.
I know you're streaming. Oh wait. Oh, yeah. Sorry, everyone.
Act. This specific is a about that. Really? Hey. You can sit here or you can leave. That'll be weirder for me. Watch. When I said 36:40 is where I'm gonna do the cut, I actually meant 38:40. We're gonna erase 2 of those minutes. Thanks. So we're gonna grab first shot of me drinking. Ugh. I should be fucking sponsored. I don't drink shit else but this, bro. It's the only thing that doesn't take ass to me. Nothing ever happens. You're just overreacting to Trump being elected. Both sides are the same, anyways. You actually think that Project 2025 shit is real? Bitch. Yes. All of it. Yes. It's happening in real time. Yes. What I just described, what I just performed, is the exact mechanism by which this entire fucking death cult skates around participating in mass murder while somehow being able to tell themselves they're the reasonable one. Allow me to explain. And let's be absolutely clear about this, okay? People are saying, let them starve, and dressing it up like fiscal responsibility or personal accountability or tough love. Like, oh, they're just going through this. This is just happening to them, and they deserve it for some reason. What they're actually saying, no, is I'm willing to watch a human being die of starvation rather than allow my tax dollars to feed that same person. Okay? That's not politics. That's not economics. That's murder by policy preference. Pardon the burp. And the fucking insanity of it is that these commenters act like they're so fucking far removed from this same situation, from needing these same benefits. They're, what's the word? What's the word? Celebrate. Oh. There we go. And the fucking insanity of it is that all of these people are acting like they're so far removed from this edge, from this fucking eventuality. Like, you're not one cancer diagnosis away from losing everything to medical bills. Like, your company couldn't just fucking decide without warning to automate your entire position. Like, oh, I don't know, let's just offshore this entire role. Or, God forbid, you just get into a car accident and you are completely behind on everything, and guess what? Now you're homeless. I didn't like that. And the fucking insanity of it is that all of these people are acting like they are so far removed from this edge, from this eventuality, like it couldn't happen to you. God forbid. God forbid. You get cancer tomorrow. Life is over due to medical bills. God forbid your job without warning decides to offshore or automate every part of your division. You don't have a job to do. You're gone. Same position as these people. Same position as these people. No, I don't like that. The fucking sanity of it is that these people act like they are so far removed from this edge, from this eventuality. Like job security is just guaranteed forever. Like, you couldn't get cancer tomorrow and drown in medical bills. Like, you couldn't get into a car accident or have a family mental health crisis, or for some reason your job without warning just decides to automate or offshore every part of your job. Everyone in your position gone. That could happen at any moment. But somehow you're championing, you're cheering, you're, what the fuck is the word I'm looking for? Celebrating. I'm retarded. And the fucking insanity of it, that all of these people are acting like they're so far removed from that edge, from that eventuality, while celebrating the destruction of the program that supports it. Okay? Oh, that's gotta. And the fucking insanity of it, the fucking insanity of it. All these people are acting like they're so far removed from this eventuality. Like this couldn't apply to them. Like their job security is guaranteed forever. Like they couldn't get cancer tomorrow and drown in medical debt, or their job couldn't offshore or automate every part of their position, or you have a mental health crisis or a fucking car accident that puts you in the same position as all the people they're calling lazy. My pronoun game is weak. As that puts you in this, or fucking car accident that puts you in the same position as all of the people you're calling lazy. All these people are a couple bad months, maybe a couple bad weeks, probably a couple bad days away from being. These people are probably a couple bad weeks away from needing the same social programs they are celebrating the destruction of. But they will not see this, because to do so would mean to confront how fragile your own position is, how little separates you from the people you're dehumanizing. So instead, they construct this so instead they construct this moral so instead they construct this elaborate fantasy where poverty is always a moral failure. Always. Where anyone who needs help must have made bad choices. Where if you work hard enough, you will always be fine. Because if that's not true, okay, if poverty can happen to people who did everything right, then they're not safe. And that terrifies them too. It's so much easier. It's so much easier to just blame the victims. It's so much easier to just say, he shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have had kids. Should have planned better. Should have worked harder. Because if poverty is the victim's fault, then it can't happen to you as long as you're good and responsible. We know that to be mostly a lie because the system is designed to have an underclass of desperate people willing to do work that they aren't being. Fuck am I looking at? Willing to do work. Willing to work for less than they. Fuck. But we know that that is a lie. But we know that to be mostly a lie because the system is designed to have an underclass of. That's mostly a lie because the system is designed on purpose to have an underclass of desperate people who are willing to take any job at any wage well below what it's worth in any conditions, because the alternative is fucking starvation. That is the whole point. That is the design of capitalism, is how it's worked always. It does not, capitalism does not exist without paying people less than they are worth. If you were to pay everyone what they actually bring to the larger picture, there wouldn't be profits left over. The alternative being starvation. That's the whole fucking point. You keep people scared, you keep them desperate, a couple paychecks away from homelessness, and they'll just accept whatever degrading, soul crushing work you offer them. And the people who are currently employed, they've been trained to punch down, not up, down. Same shit we say to comedians. You gotta punch up with these jokes, or you're making fun of those who don't have the ability to fight back, who aren't there under their own circumstances. But it don't apply the same. The currently employed have been trained to punch down, not up. We just went over that. They've been trained to rage at people on food stamps instead of the billionaires who are raking in all of it. And the people who are currently employed, trained to punch down, not up. Okay? To rage at the people on food stamps instead of the comfy billionaires. To blame the desperate mother instead of the corporations jacking up the food prices because they can. No reason, just because they can. To call the unemployed person lazy instead of asking, well, why aren't there enough jobs that pay a living wage? Great question. But the mythical job that I just mentioned, but that mythical job I just mentioned doesn't exist. Like, jobs aren't just abundant and lying around to be picked up whenever. You wouldn't be scared of illegals stealing your jobs if there were that fucking many of them. Many jobs are actively harmful to the human being. And the health of the worker suffers. Many jobs. And even if you get a job, you could lose that job at any moment for any reason, completely outside of your control. A lot of places are just like they fire at will for any reason. He just didn't fit the vibe of the company. And you can't prevent that. There is no real job security in almost any marketplace. But acknowledging any of that would mean that you would have to admit that the entire system is broken, that the social construct is a lie, that we live in a society that is fundamentally designed to create losers who suffer and die, so that the winners can accumulate more than they could ever use. Meanwhile, billionaires are literally making money while they sleep, watching their investment portfolios grow. Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, billionaires are making money literally while they sleep, watching their investment portfolios grow through mechanisms designed to concentrate wealth upward. Almost no labor done on their part. Outsourcing the starvation of others to the system so that they can launder responsibility. They don't have to sit here and be culpable, be accountable for their part. They're implicitly voting to cut the food assistance and shrugging the people off. Fuck. They're implicitly voting to cut food assistance and shrugging when people die from starvation. If they actually looked at the person starving and saw them, fuck. If they actually looked at the person starving and saw them as fully human, they wouldn't be repeating these dehumanizing actions on repeat over and over and over again. If they had any humanity left in them, this wouldn't be possible. My hope is that their humanity would shatter the dog-eat-dog capitalistic programming, but I'm honestly at the point where I believe they've trained that out of themselves. If you get to a point way up there in money, I think you had to You had to have killed off your humanity, almost every version of it. Every version of a billionaire I could think of, you have to be a bad. God bless everyone who's on food stamps. I hope you make it out of this bitch, boy. I really do. 55 minutes and 30 seconds where I gotta cut that bitch. I think that's 2 scripts. That's not horrible. Now, my